It's Tuesday. It is the last day of September 2025. And these dual tropical systems down in the southeast are really not going to do much other than slightly increase the gradient between this reinforcing high pressure here for drier and cooler air and these low pressures that are off the east coast. So as we move forward here, you'll see that those lows fortunately go out to sea, although it did cause quite a bit of easterly winds and definitely some riptides and erosion here on the East Coast. And there was some rain, even a few showers last night, made for an amazing sunset. The upper level high clouds from Imelda getting streamed up here. Just incredible sunsets, and hopefully you got to see it. But this high is just going to reinforce and really wedge itself down east of the mountains with dry and cooler air. We'll start to notice that really tomorrow and into Thursday, highs on Thursday, around 70. A little bit warmer, actually, than I thought. This high originally looked like it was going to drop straight down and now kind of took a different route as these lows did not come farther north, so they didn't really shove it down until later. So we do get them later, but also we're starting to get this easterly wind fetch a little bit, so a little bit of humidity. So anyway, by Friday we're already up again around 70, and now into the weekend we'll see 70s return, and by Monday of next week, and into next week, it's going to be dry and warmer. Highs up into the low 80s probably. Unfortunately, our drought situation gets worse because of that. There is some moisture out of the Gulf that's going to only increase our humidity really, but not really give us much of a chance of rain. There is some showing up here on the models. No idea if that's going to come true or exactly how it works. What I am noticing is more and more this colder air up in Canada, is intruding, but it's not going to stick around. This is a very transient looking pattern. In some ways, but it's not really great for us getting a lot of rain or anything on the East Coast. So now we're way far out. I mean, we're now talking next week, over a week away before we see this high coming down out of the north. And this would really bring in much cooler air. We'll have to see in the very long pattern. Looks very interesting because if it was winter, I'd be very interested in what it looks like because we have this colder air coming down out of Canada. And we get an overriding situation where low pressure forms along the front and it comes up the East Coast. And, that would have been interesting in winter. It would have still probably been just a close call and nothing to worry about. But you see, it's a very wintry looking setup here with a nor'easter, even upper level, or higher elevation snows here in the northeast on this forecast. This is a really cool shot, by the way. Strong winds and much colder air, but this is the middle of the month, so that would be the first true colder invasion, I should say, cold invasion, but not atypical for this time of year. I don't think this is going to come true. If it does, it will get a cold shot, but it doesn't look like it's going to last. I mean, here we are with a high moving east. This low up in Canada is just going to rip warm air into the middle part of the country and just accelerate the heat here east of the Rockies. So, that is pretty wild overall for this situation. So if we look at the upper level winds, just really quick. I'm sorry, I don't mean to drag this out. But you can see upper level temperatures is what I meant. So you see all this warm air up to our north and to our west. And that's what I mean. Even though we cool down a few days, here's the cooler air coming off that high that gets kind of reinforced with the two tropical systems moving out. Kind of cools us down for a few days. It's brief. And then it gets, routed out of here, and we quickly start warming up. This is really warm temperatures in the middle part of the country. As the cool air kind of gets shoved down into the mountains of the Rockies and stuff, but even they kind of change and warm a little bit. And this is way late in the period here. This is another push of a little bit cooler air, for sure, and that would be nice. This is in the somewhat extended, and that's before this really strong colder push happens. Is this going to come true? Y'all, this is so far out there. Although, I would say the models consistently are showing around the 15th or so a chance for some colder air to intrude the area. And if this does happen, this is really a break-off of colder air from way up north. And it gets shoved way down south. So, and this is because of the nor'easter off the East Coast. Again, it doesn't look like it's going to stick around. You can see it starting to retreat already as really warm temperatures replace it in the middle part of the country. All right. No need to
prolong this any more than needed. You can see we are dry. If we look over the next 7 days, we don't even need to look at the close-up. You can see that we remain in a goose egg. No precipitation for the next 7 days. That may extend into about 14 days, so we'll have to see how things pan out. Have an awesome Tuesday. Speaking of Loudoun County Weather Outlook.